Fuck, that's
Is that the
way better.
Artie Savia hat as well, is it? I'll tell you what, we're
Hey?
flexing. We're flexing today.
Yeah.
Beanies, Artie Savia hats. We're looking good.
That was fucking cold here today, Jackson.
Is it?
11 degrees.
Oh, mate, it's peak summer where you're from, bro. What are you talking about?
All wet. It's miserable.
Bro, one of my friends was texting me today, and he goes, they went for a walk up one of the mountains. It was -7 degrees.
Oh,
No thanks.
Ugh, yuck.
It's actually quite nice out here at the moment, bro. We've had the best weather you could ever imagine while we've been fucking locked to our apartments. So, and then Kiwi summer will be fucking miserable.
Yeah. Fuck, when you nail a Kiwi summer, right? Fuck, it's all time, eh?
Oh, mate, you can't beat it if it's on, but it's once every 3 or 4 years. But like Kiwi summer festy season, I'm undefeated. Saying with no experience of the Aussie summer, but yeah.
Road trip Coromandel.
Oh,
Watch 660.
Bit of catch a fire bumping, some chicken getting too hot in the chili bin. Swimming in mayo.
Your 25th best mate's got a family member that's got a batch. Yeah. So everyone's staying there.
You all try and tuck into the same 2 girls. Oh, it's all time.
Oh, eh?
That
wasn't me. That's not me.
Boys.
Right, we on?
Yeah, we've been on 22nd of May. Show and go. It's Friday. Not too much happening this week. We did get the NRL draw. We'll get a bit of a reaction to that. There's been some teams got an easy draw, apparently. Some teams have got a hard draw with who they play twice and whatnot. Jackson, you've probably dived into it a little bit. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, the cliche, but there's no easy draws in the NRL. Like, unless you're playing my boys every other week. So, I mean, it was pretty cool. The big, in terms of winners, obviously Bankwest getting like 21 or 22 games or something, sick. Like, why not? Use it, it's there. Cronulla not having to leave Sydney till fucking basically halfway through the year. So, like, some teams have got good draws in that sense. My boys getting 8 Friday night games, cashing up. So, but yeah, it was pretty good. Like, losers, I suppose it was always going to happen, but like the sort of the regional grounds and the suburban game, obviously, like, you love it when like the doggies take games out to the bush and that and all that sort of shit, but obviously they can't do that. It's just too much of a health risk. So that's the shit side of it. But I also be interested to know, mate, 18 rounds of consecutive footy. Obviously, 2 weeks is bashing the body up. 18 rounds, no buys. What are we saying? How hard is that going to be?
The boys are playing 18 straight. Like, obviously, footy players, they just complain anyway. Like, I've knocked about them before my life. And, like, if you're not home by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they're complaining. They're always complaining, you know what I mean? And this is just another complaint. And we're just going to be grateful football's back. So this time next week on the Show and Go, we'll be talking about our first game of football when it's going to be Parramatta and Broncos. And content's just going to be a little bit easier, isn't it? So I know me and Jackson were super skeptical about, fuck, is this the thing actually going to happen? But it looks like it is. And it's pretty exciting times. So, people are always going to complain and look for a competitive advantage, and coaches going to look to play that undercard sort of style rolling into the season, so they can sort of drag the season out a little bit longer. You know what I mean? There's just, I don't know, footy's back and all these little mind games are back with it. So it just comes with the territory, doesn't it?
What about we and Lukey touched on it, I think, when Hoz was on, but I haven't heard you talk about the Origin being played in November back to back to back. What do you make of that? I reckon it'd be fucking sick, man.
I prefer it because one is going to be a daylight savings game anyway, so it's going to be a drier style of football. So, and like you think about like Origin, you only picture Origin at night time. So the start of it's going to be sort of half in the daytime, and then like you're going to be rolling into Bears in the afternoon and watching Origin. Is it still going to be on a Wednesday, or is it going to be a weekend? Or
I think it's 3 consecutive Wednesdays.
Yeah. Because you got to remember, there's all these other sports on that time of year. They can't just take up the grounds on weekends, so that's probably why Wednesday works.
Right,
one ground. It's taking up one ground.
Bankwest. What's running on Bankwest in November?
Yeah, no one's there anyway. So
the Wanderers. The Wanderers.
And like, is the game still down in Adelaide as well? Is that still happening?
I don't know. I saw the photo. It looked like they used Perth in one of the images, or Adelaide, or whatever it was.
The finals venues haven't been decided for the NRL yet, so I'd assume the Origin venues haven't been locked in yet. You can check it, Lukey. But Tedesco on a dry track. I mean, that's going to be sick, man. That level of footy played in the afternoon. I can't wait, man. It's going to be weird for the players, like you said, who are used to, especially the like experienced Origin guys, who like they're so used to that Origin routine of getting, they go for their walks with their bare feet in the morning with Freddie, and then they're kind of getting into the swing of things. The lights come on, you train, but now it's going to be afternoon. It's going to feel a little bit sort of park footy like. But
do you know what it's got? Do you know what's going to be weird is usually when you're playing Origin, you're probably in form. Like if you're getting picked, you're in form. So if it's going straight after grand final and you're in the bottom 8 side, you're not going to be playing for 4 weeks, and then you're going to get thrown into probably the fastest game there ever is on a dry track when it's hotter and like you haven't played in a while. You know what I mean? And
I was thinking about that from an injury standpoint. It's like, you know, in like typical Origin, so like game 1 plays, Blues get pumped, they drop half the squad and bring in like those guys in form, like you said, or someone's injured. You know, Normie has a main game on the weekend, he goes straight to the Queensland side. We're not going to have that weekend off to sort of game plan and strategize and see who we're going to bring in. So it's going to be basically after the grand final. What about sides like you mentioned, they get knocked out of the 8? They're going to have to stay fit. Like if you think you're an Origin chance, especially if you're playing at you know, like especially the Gold Coast Titans boys that play Queensland, they're going to have to stay fit for however long finals are, and then rolling another month after that. Like it's going to be a bit of a fucking slog for them.
Yeah, 100%. And then like when you're playing finals football and you're not playing finals football, it's almost out of sight, out of mind. Like when everyone starts talking Origin about round 3, round 4, like he's an Origin contention. So you start sort of watching all these sort of players.
Are we still going to do that, I wonder?
I don't know, man. It's going to be finals. Like everyone's like, fuck, I want to play. Like everyone's focused on finals, and Origin's kind of just going to be an afterthought. Like Origin's great because it breaks up the NRL season, and even though it dilutes the competition for those fucking 6, 7, 8 weeks, but it is great to watch during that time. So it'd be interesting how it goes after. Hopefully the branding of Origin strong enough where it's not so much like international football, where like you could have a Kiwi Australian game at Mount Smart and you probably wouldn't even feel the join up, nowhere near. You know what I mean? So
not a chance.
yeah, I think the branding of it will be too strong, but yeah, it's going to be interesting, and I'm looking forward to it because a dry pitch means like a drier ball means you can play a bit more footy. Where you think of Origin and you think about Origin efforts and all that sort of 1%ers and those tough guys that can get through and push through fatigue and all that sort of type of shit. It gives a chance for like someone with a bit of skill to sort of step up to the plate and potentially change the format of the whole game. So that's what excites me about it. And sinking some beers and it's still daytime. Go for a swim. Boom.
Your boy Mitchy Moses has got to be a smoky this year, Lukey. Fuck, man, he was flying in those first 2 rounds.
He was as well, and especially with everything that came out with the Origin coaches around Cleary and stuff. Like I'm not one for that to sort of impact his Origin chances, but from what they were saying, that sort of stuff could impact on that. So you never know what happens there. You got Lukey Keary though in the wings as well. He's a very good chance, and
always forget about him.
Plenty of talent that's there for the New South Wales Origin team, and if anyone's going to be in form around finals, it's Luke Keary. So, and I'm going to say Mitch Moses is a Para fan as well. So, straight off the finals campaign, straight into the Origin campaign.
He looks nice and steady now, Mitch Moses. You sort of watched him when he was younger and had all the talent and he got by on speed and skill and that. But he's always in that sort of niggly shit as well. Like he'd be playing the ball, like trying to grab markers and stuff. It looks like all that sort of stuff's eradicated from his game and he's not sort of fighting for the ball. And when he gets his touches, they're nice touches and his kicking game's like solid. And he's got X factor as well. Like he can break a line and gas a fullback as well. So there's not too many halves in the comp that can really do that anymore. But he's one of them. Yeah, he's in a nice little spot, and it sort of depends how Cleary sort of bounces back from this tiny bit of adversity that he's got.
Yeah, it's not.
He's not worried about 20. Not worried about 20K.
No, he's not worried about that. Mitchell Moses loves the old Den and Kemp stand up and fucking shove the marker before you play it. Eh? He's all about that.
Dallin Martini's isn't he?
Oh, mate. Could potentially have the quickest play ball in the comp. Just play it, boy.
The thing is, he's such the nicest guy off the field too, but Dal, he hates getting tackled. I was like, bro, you're allowed to get tackled, man. Fighting everyone. Fuck, relax. Play the ball, fuck yeah.
Moving on to the podcast world that we're massive in as well. I've had Shopify knocking on our door. I've told them to wait.
Hold on, boys.
Let us get a few more episodes in first. But yeah, Joe Rogan to Spotify, that's pretty cool news. And I think almost the big play in it is the video aspect of it. I don't know how much homework you've done on the why that they might be going to, why that's a big opportunity for him, and not just him, but other creators as well. You've got YouTube that hold the market, and all the dramas that YouTube have had with demonetization off the back of his podcast. Like you remember, it always used to be live on YouTube. Off the back of the demonetization over the past few years on YouTube, you've got all these creators with nowhere to go, and now Spotify have come along and gone, hey, we've got an alternative for you. So what are your thoughts on it all, Ice? It's pretty cool.
Exciting. First of all, congratulations to Joe Rogan. Talking like we know him in that, but
come on the show, Joe Rogan.
he deserves that. So we were talking about, I remember Gary Vee talking about, and Gary Vee brought this old footage back up, and he goes, when he does the Howard Stern 2.0 and they pay him whatever the fuck he's worth for that sort of time, it's going to be crazy. So 100 mil, I think that's over the course of every year, for 10 years. Is that, am I reading
It's a
that, am I read that
deal.
right? Or
It's a 2-year deal.
Oh, 2-year deal. So did you see the market cap go up? It went up by 5 billion. So Spotify's thing went up by 5 billion in 48 hours off the back of Joe Rogan signing for that. So you go, he's getting 100 million here and he's going to get 5 billion here. But there is a little element of it, like YouTube's got the branding, YouTube's got the leverage. All that YouTube needs to do is pivot, and they can survive this. It's sort of like when Gary Vee talks about this before. Someone paid him to jump on something else. I forgot what it was called. So he was one of the big first YouTube stars, and then it was pretty much the YouTube 2.0, and they were in competition at the time, and he got equity in that business, so he jumped over, but that business faded out. I don't see Spotify phasing out, but the video component very excites me a lot, because it's hard to get engagement on YouTube now. So, and like you said, there's a lot of strict things, and all Spotify needs to do is change up. One of the big issues I have with YouTube is copyright laws and like the potential of playing music and stuff like that. So if Spotify are able to negotiate a deal with all the artists, and they go, if say YKTR use Goldlink and Crew, or Travis Scott, Butterfly Effect, if we use that song, and we have to actually just tag him, or there's a playlist component element to that, and then Travis Scott gets paid off the back of that, that changes the whole game. Because then you get all these content creators making all these different types of things, and then it's going to be first movers advantage. So as soon as Spotify opens up a video platform, YKTR Sports, we're straight on it. It's early days. It's land grabbing. It's trying to get attention as quick as we can. And do we keep going on YouTube potentially as well? But once there's a new platform and everyone's excited about it, we're all moving over, because that's where the attention is.
If you want to, for people that aren't quite up on it, a really good video, and I'll put in the link, is listening to Brian Callen and Brendan Shaw talk about it. It came out overnight.
I was just about to say that.
Have you watched that?
I listened to them on The Fighter, and the kid talking about, it was funny, they're talking about the 100 mil, and they're like, yeah, like they know Rogan, so they do the fight companion with him. They're like, it's crazy how off the numbers are, and you expect them to be like, it's way less, and they're like, it's so much more.
Yeah, I've
like
heard,
the 100 mil
more as well. Yeah,
like apparently it's well more than 100 mil.
Mm.
That was just a round number.
Yeah. Someone just sounds nice, doesn't it? So, but I forgot where I was going to go.
Sounds like they're like asking a source, and they're like, this is what a journalist would do. They'll be like, is it 50 mil? And the guy goes, nah. And they go, 100 mil? And he goes, more. And then they just start typing. That's how that shit comes out, yeah.
But if you can increase, if you have that type of influence where you can increase a fucking like a business by 5 billion, you deserve to get every fucking cent.
He's the Oprah. He's the Oprah for like blokes aged 18 to 36, isn't he? Like he's not really. There's nothing super special about him. He's just cool. He talks to interesting people, and yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know what it is about Rogan. Gary Vee is like, you can see why people gravitate towards him. You can start listing things off. Rogan, it's like a bit.
I think it's because it's easy, bro. It's easy.
Yeah, maybe.
And you know what? Like, me and Hoz were talking about this yesterday. We use like Rogan as a point of reference because he's at that sort of status right now, especially when coronavirus was happening and we're getting news outlets from here, there, and everywhere. And I always go to Rogan and who's he got on about, and he's an expert in this sort of space, and I'll just listen to that because he's not going to get duds on, is he? He's at that sort of point.
And it's long form as well. You know, you're not getting clickbait headlines. You're investing in 3 hours of coronavirus news rather than 3 articles of conjecture and spin and all that. Like he doesn't have a political agenda when he gets these people on. And that was a cool thing about the Spotify deal. I'll let you go, Lukey, after this point. But like when he talks about how he committed to this, and the reason he took so long is because he doesn't want any creative license taken away. He said, I'm going to do the exact same fucking thing, just over here. So if he's able to do that and they create this whole video platform for him, fuck, I'm with you, man. Show and go, punt it over. Let's go.
Straight on. Straight through the hole.
So if you think about YKTR, for example, like we've been on YouTube for like three years now, like make decent vlogs and make decent content, but we're only at like 12,000 like subscribers. So, but in terms of like views, we had like over like, I think a couple million views on it, or just over 1 million. But on Facebook, even though we did put paid advertising behind it, it's fucking like way bigger. So I think that Spotify side of it's going to be super interesting, especially the video platform. It's going to be.
Yeah, the power that YouTube has to just, if they don't like your content, just bury it in the algorithm and people just don't see it. Like Logan Paul's stuff, the only way I see that in my feed is because I have notifications on that it pops up that he's uploaded a new video. Jackson, I know you're sweating by Logan Paul's notifications as well. So
he's dropping new merch today, bro. He's dropping new merch.
Ugh. More importantly, vintage kit's just arrived. There's I saw a courier guy pull up, so that's more important. But wait, the YouTube thing, you know more about this than me, Lukey. But how do they decide that? Because they can bury things, or like they let all the flat Earth shit run. But if you say something that's off about coronavirus, they fucking shadow ban you and shit.
All the flat Earth stuff, it's all picked up. So everything that's uploaded, there's artificial intelligence that picks up every word that we're saying. So if we're like that video that I put COVID in the headline, the video I put COVID in the headline when we did the show and it comes up straight underneath it, National Health Organization or whatever it is, to get your news here. So just stuff like that, and it just makes it more difficult for people to find.
That's how SEO work at the moment. Our article's like, sorry, everything has to have coronavirus and then semicolon, and then you have your headline. So even if it's like, a story about Isaac John doing a fucking podcast, it'd be coronavirus. Isaac John does a podcast while the coronavirus is on. Like, it's fucking everything.
Yeah, type in coronavirus in white letters, those old school tricks. Coronavirus in between paragraphs.
Now, to wrap it up for today, boys, did we see a bit of the card break last night? I think Scope put a clip up, or what was that?
Oh, nah. Boys are just getting antsy, and everyone's like, fuck, everyone, let's just jump on this break Zoom here. So we jumped on this random Zoom, random card break on Facebook, and we all just jumped on Zoom together. So we were all on Saturday. Brandon Smith pulled like 3 Jar Morants in one break, which is like pretty huge.
Yeah, hectic.
Would have got maybe about a $500, $600, $700 couple cards like all together. So he's good value, man. He's fucking funny. The boys are starting to get into me now because I run a tight ship over there, so they're calling me like.
You see the one, Aaron?
Not Godfather, but like just that. Like, as soon as the boys say, "Oh no, let's do it this way. Let's do it this way." It's like, sorry, boys, just running in business here.
Aaron, did you recognise the one from last night? Aaron Smith said,
are you doing these?
I'm on everyone's payroll.
Oh wow. I thought that was a little bit too good for him. I was like, because that's when I replied, like, that's actually a decent edit.
You got to be careful when the All Blacks start asking for things, mate. It's two-way street. How is Scope, man? Changing tack a little bit. He's been quiet for the last week. You said we're going to give him a week off. How's he going?
He's on the mend. He's on the mend. So he was in here yesterday. He was in a card break with his friend. Got a bunch of really good cards. It's like when you're almost down on your money on the poker machine and you're trying to walk off, and those last couple slabs is enough just to keep you there. And I don't know if he's going to break away from this shit. I don't know. It's got his attention. He's in razzes like every day. He's in breaks every day. So for someone that's announced his retirement, I think he's fucking lying, eh?
Yeah, it could be MJ. MJ repeat. He's coming back.
He's put this fucking dramatic thing up, and man, normally he's like, we know the Scope. He's just looking for attention here. So. But he's starting to ask about the business side of it as well. So I don't think anyone's doing NFL breaks very well. Like I've jumped in a couple of them, and a lot of people don't know who the players are.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Everyone, like, I've watched one and then just reading a name, and they got like mad excited because they pulled Jared Hayne, and that's about it.
So there's definitely a market there. Probably soccer as well. Like definitely a card breaking market there, and doesn't always have to be around NBA because everyone's going to gravitate towards NBA, but. I had a little good break yesterday as well, so it's been good.
What'd you get?
I've got a few, just all the key rookies of 1920, Zion, Jar, Kobe, Tyler Hero. It's usually, the boxes are like, if you get one of those, we've always got those guys in it, but then you can completely miss as well and get fucked.
Tyler Hero is fucking cool, though.
He is cool.
That new hairstyle.
He loves a bit of vintage as well.
Does he? Yeah. I'm sort of loaded in on Tyler Hero as well, so fun times.
Well, let's wrap it up.
Oh, what about Warriors just signed? Sorry, Warriors just signed Jake Murchie. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know much about him, mate. What's
He's good, bro. He's good. So I played for Mount Mountie, so he's come through the Canberra system a lot. He's quite a big boy. Just a goer, like not a bad looking bloke as well. Yeah, middle, like sort of that cross between middle and edge. Sort of had like Papali over there. Yeah, Papali can do. He looks like a middle, but he's playing on the edge. He sort of is that type of mold, but sort of good to see Warriors get some invest in some young.
Yeah, sick. How old is he?
Oh, he was 20s. He'd be about 22, 23.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's what we need, man. Like Lachlan Burr was one of our best signings last year. He was, he was playing Rezzies at the Dog. I think he was the New South Wales Cup Player of the Year. Came over and played like 22 games or something for us last year. That's what we need, man.
Why the fuck wouldn't the NRL just let the boys do like loans?
I don't know.
Like even if Bellamy's coming out, who's probably the most competitive fucker in the whole competition, and he's going, we should loan players. Like we touched on this earlier. This is not a normal season. Like you're not going to get a buy round. Who gives a fuck?
I was talking to you remember, or you know Albert Vitti? Do you know Albert?
Yeah, I know. Oh,
Yeah.
no, not. He's quite smart. Albert. He's quite a smart lad, eh?
Yeah, low key smart guy. Yeah, so he obviously played for the Warriors, and then he's now in the Melbourne system. I hope he doesn't mind me saying this. I was talking to him day before yesterday, and he was kind of like, "Fuck, bro, if they needed kettle and I wasn't going to get around here, I'll put my hand up 100%." So go see the boys again.
He's the perfect guy. See, so like someone like
Danny Lasonni in there.
Yeah, just get all the boys back. Boys. Yeah, crazy.
Shawnee come run the cutter.
So yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's at that point now. I half feel sorry for the Warriors, and it's like it's almost a joint where it's almost like a joke now. Like when things just go wrong after wrong, it gets to that point like fuck.
It was
like when's going to end?
It was interesting to hear Chanel yesterday because they're kind of starting to feel like that as well, and they're kind of now adopting, which is cool to see, a little bit of a sort of backs to the wall thing. They're like, fuck it, if you're not going to give us any support and give us anything, we've got the crew here. We're going to fucking do it with our 18-year-olds. And so I reckon, I don't want to, Normie, I'm sure Normie's aware of that first game and how hard it's going to be. Fuck, the boys will come out. I said this in round one, they got pumped, but the boys are going to come out hissing in that first game. I don't know how long that you can keep that sort of, level of intensity, but that first game, particularly the first half, I don't know what the fitness is like, but that first 20 against the Dragons is going to be fucking sick, man.
That's it's hard, man. Like, cause they've been over here for like a couple of weeks now already, and like usually when you go on tour, once you get to that sort of 2.5 week, the sort of novelty wears off. Yeah, and there's probably no novelty to this because they've been 1 in lockdown, 2 in training anyway. Like 3, they can't go out and have a beer with the boys. Like on a random Saturday or shit like that. They can't do anything fun, team activities, go-karting, go mini golf and shit like that. They've just been locked down. So don't want to cry like Paul, but fuck, tough gig.
It's a tough gig, man. But oh well, they'll bounce back, win the comp, everything will be fine.
That'd be a giggle if they did, man. That'd be all time, actually.
The only thing I don't like about the player loan thing, say they get like a few gun players come over and really help them out, and Billy Slater turns up and there's all this cool hype and the Warriors go on this amazing run and win it. There's going to be, there's going to be. There's going to be blokes saying, "Oh, they only won it because they fucking got a few of the Aussie boys." There's going to be no avoiding this. Just have a good year, boys. That's all I want.
100%.
All right, let's wrap it up, boys. Friday show and go. We'll be back Monday. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Slade, boys.